So here we start with the topic. Hmm. So good evening, children. The topic with which I'll be starting today is coordinate geometry. Now, talking about maths, you know, it has been divided into different branches. Like we have been studying maths in very basic formats known as geometry, algebra, right? And there are many more names like arithmetic maths and mensuration, जिसके अंदर sub areas and all that stuffs are included, right? Algebra mostly deals with variable. Geometry deals with geometrical figures. Arithmetic basically deals with calculations, numbers. Mensuration is calculation of areas, volumes, and all those concepts, right? Now, here, coordinate geometry, children, is nothing but properties of geometric figures by placing them on a coordinate plane. Now, let us understand what exactly is a coordinate plane, right? In order to understand coordinate geometry, हम लोग को पता है कि geometric figure क्या होता है, right? अब उसका properties कैसे समझ में आता है coordinate plane को use कर करके उस पूरे field को हम लोग coordinate geometry बोलते हैं. So let us basically understand what a coordinate plane is. In order to understand coordinate plane in a better way, I would like to consider an example here, children. Right? I hope everybody here might have gone to a movie theater. अभी का बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ लॉकडाउन का, उसके पहले हम लोग कभी ना कभी तो थिएटर में गए रहेंगे, राइट? We might have also purchased a ticket. So the ticket basically has this information in it. जैसे you all can see it on the screen right here. Movie ticket में date is Wednesday 24th May 2017. Time is 11:30. Now I'm not interested in date, time and all that stuff, but what I'm interested in is this stuff. M11. You know what, kids? जब हम थिएटर में जाते हैं, standing at the entry point, let's say the entry point is somewhere here, here, तो यहाँ पे खड़े खड़े ही एक पर्सन जो है उसका सीट लोकेट कर सकता है very easily, right? Now why I said very easily, because of this number M11. अब M का मतलब होता है M वाला रो, right? So I'll select this particular row which is M वाला row, which I have highlighted in the figure as well, right here. And then 11 is basically the 11th column. You can see the numbering here: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11. So 11th column jo hai, that I'll be highlighting, right? So the point of intersection, which is right here, children, right? This point is nothing but our seat. So in order to locate the seat on this system, I needed two informations. One was konsa row wala information, the other was konsa column. So basically row and column is what we needed to locate the seat. Likewise, coordinate system mein, to locate any point in that particular system, we need two things: x coordinate and y coordinate. Such a system, right, is known as Cartesian plane as well as uh, Cartesian coordinate system. I hope that is clear, children. Yeah, there is no need to copy any of this. I would be mentioning कि आपको कौन सा part copy करना है. Meanwhile, if you want, you can just keep on, taking screenshots. I won't be repeating this part again, like the screenshot wala part. It is up to you all. Now here is the coordinate system, wherein we have a x-axis, which is a horizontal line, and we have a y-axis, which is a vertical line. They both intersect each other at an angle of 90 degree. That point, children, where they intersect, we call it as origin, right? So this point right here, we call it as origin. It is always named as O. X-axis, I have named it as x and x dash. If you can see a dash here, y and y dash, right? Now, I hope everybody must be knowing that on the right hand side of the zero on the x-axis, we have positive numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, as you can see it on the screen. And on the left hand side, what we have is negative numbers, right? Now, on the above side here, on the y-axis, right, we have positive numbers, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. And on the downward side, right, we have negative numbers. So this is what is Cartesian coordinate system. Now here, this places, this place right between the x-axis and y-axis, this part we call it as first quadrant. I hope everybody knows meaning of the word quadrant. Quad मतलब होता है fourth, फोर, राइट? तो क्वाड्रेंट मतलब बेसिकली फोर्थ पार्ट. तो अगर आप देखोगे ये जो पूरा सेक्शन है, इसका फोर्थ पार्ट को हम लोग क्वाड्रेंट बोलते हैं. एंड ऑलवेज चिल्ड्रन, ऑलवेज, राइट, विल बी कॉलिंग दिस एज द फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट, this as the second quadrant, this as the third quadrant, and this as the fourth. So you have to start from this quadrant and go in this direction like this. Hope this is clear. Quadrant सबको दिमाग में रहेगा. Now let us start with the very first quadrant. If I consider a random point in this first quadrant, जैसे point A, I want somebody to help me here to locate the points, right? Be very loud and clear. I won't be unmuting you people, but at least give an answer, and then you can just verify it later on, right? So I believe the coordinates must be there in your mind, or at least you might have spoken of them. So A say, in order to find the coordinates, that is x coordinate and y coordinate. अच्छा, एक और चीज, in order to locate the coordinates of a point, you always need to go in this particular pattern. पहले x coordinate and then बाद में y coordinate, right? So locating x coordinate is very simple. Draw a perpendicular on the x-axis, right? Draw a perpendicular on the x-axis. From point A, I would drop a perpendicular, something like this. Yeah, there is this information which I would like to discuss. X coordinate का एक और नाम है, which is abscissa, right? You can take a screenshot of this if you want, because कोई कोई particular questions में ये word use किया है कि find the abscissa of this particular point. So आपको पता रहना चाहिए कि abscissa मतलब x coordinate होता है, right? And likewise, y coordinate को children we also call it as ordinates, सिर्फ ordinate. The name is written here. So x coordinate can also be called as abscissa, and y coordinate can also be called as ordinate. Now trying to locate x coordinate, point A say we drop a perpendicular, something like this, and then the number which I land at, basically which is 4, that is nothing but x coordinate. Likewise, in order to find y coordinate, we need to draw a perpendicular on y axis. So I would like to draw a perpendicular on y axis, and the point is 3. This is how we locate the point, that is 4, 3. Okay, one more thing which you people might have noted, that first quadrant में कोई भी point ले लो आप randomly, उसका जो coordinates है, x coordinate and y coordinate, उनका जो sign है, right? It will be always positive, positive. They'll always be positive. Now moving on to second quadrant, I've considered a random point which is B. Once again, the pattern would be similar, x coordinate, y coordinate. In order to locate x coordinate, I would drop a perpendicular here, and the answer is nothing but -6, right? And then in order to locate the y coordinate, I would drop a perpendicular on y axis, which is 4. Likewise, I would consider point C. Definitely, I hope you kids might be knowing it by now. The answer has to be -5, -5. क्योंकि दोनों तरफ अगर आप देखोगे perpendiculars draw करने पर आंसर -5 ही है, right? And then the last point which I would like to discuss, D, 7, -6, right? Now, this were certain points, children, which were within the quadrant. What if there is a point, okay, this I've already discussed, कि अगर कोई भी point first quadrant में lie करेगा, तो उसका दोनों coordinates would be positive. I would like to go ahead with this discussion here. Second quadrant में children, if you consider any random point, उसका जो signs है, they'll be always negative comma positive, right? Third quadrant mein they'll be always negative comma negative, and fourth quadrant mein it will be always positive comma negative. I hope everybody has understood this. If there is anyone who has not understood it, kindly raise your hand. I believe raising hand I would be able to see it. Just raise hand someone so that I can check whether I can see it as of now on the screen or not. I can't see anything. I believe nobody has raised hand, या फिर raise किया भी होगा तो not able to see it. Okay, anyways, today's session I'll have to conduct it like this. Next session I'll just assure that I have another device with me. तो आपके messages पढ़ने के लिए मुझे easy हो जाएगा, right? So at the end, maybe 5-10 minutes, I'll just solve your doubts, right? Yeah. Okay. Second quadrant mein, as I said, it has to be negative comma positive. Third quadrant, negative comma negative. I hope you all can see the symbols here. Positive positive, negative positive. Here since दोनों negative है तो negative negative. And at the end positive negative. मतलब अगर कोई question में आपको कोई point दिया है और पूछा है कि which quadrant does it lies in, just by looking at the signs we can answer. अगर positive positive है तो first quadrant, negative positive है तो second quadrant. उसको actual में plot करने का भी जरूरत नहीं है. Even if you plot and then find out, still it is fine, marks उतना ही मिलेगा, right? Now the point which I was talking about kids earlier was this particular point जो कि कोई भी quadrant में नहीं है. तो how do we locate it, right? In order to locate कोई भी point का coordinates, the pattern is same always. It is x coordinate comma y coordinate. अब initially x coordinate अगर ढूंढना होता तो we used to drop a perpendicular on x axis, right? अब ये point से x axis पे perpendicular draw कर ही नहीं सकते. क्यों? क्योंकि वो point किधर है? On x axis itself. Therefore the perpendicular will also be nothing but a point. मतलब x coordinate is nothing but 4, right? Now talking about y coordinate of such a point, ये पॉइंट से y कोऑर्डिनेट अगर लोकेट करना है, इन ऑर्डर टू लोकेट y कोऑर्डिनेट वी यूज टू ड्रॉ परपेंडिकुलर ऑन y एक्सिस. तो 4 से एक परपेंडिकुलर अगर हम ड्रॉ करेंगे तो ये जो y एक्सिस है उस पे कौन सा कोऑर्डिनेट मिल रहा है? इट इज 0. सो 4,0. इनफैक्ट चिल्ड्रन, आप कोई भी पॉइंट कंसीडर कर लो एक्स एक्सिस के ऊपर. यू कंसीडर एनी रैंडम पॉइंट ऑन एक्स एक्सिस. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई कंसीडर दिस, ये -6 वाला पॉइंट, देन उसका कोऑर्डिनेट्स क्या होगा? -6,0. अच्छा, इफ आई कंसीडर दिस -10,0, दिस 10,0, मतलब जो y कोऑर्डिनेट है विल ऑलवेज बी 0 इफ द पॉइंट लाइज ऑन एक्स एक्सिस. तो इससे क्या समझ में आता है कि इफ देर इज अ पॉइंट जिसका y कोऑर्डिनेट इज 0, इट हैज टू लाई ऑन x एक्सिस. आई होप everybody has understood this, right? Don't worry, I'll just put it down and I'll mention when to take the screenshot if you want. Now talking about a point which is on y axis, let us learn what happens here. x coordinate को locate करने के लिए I'll have to draw a perpendicular on x axis. Now when I draw a perpendicular on x axis, the x coordinate children is 0. The y coordinate here, y coordinate locate करने के लिए मुझे इस point से y axis के ऊपर perpendicular draw करना है, which is the point itself, hence 0,6. Now you consider any point on y axis, it will be 0, that point. जैसे f है तो 0, -3. Hence the conclusion which I stated, the conclusion which I stated earlier as well, कि any point lying on the x axis will have its y coordinate 0 and उसका converse भी true है कि अगर y coordinate 0 है तो point x axis पर lie करता है, right? The same is true. You can take a screenshot of this if you want. The same is true with y axis as well. Hope you kids have taken the screenshot. Okay. Now, the same children is true with y axis. If x coordinate is 0, the point lies on y axis, or vice versa. If the point lies on y axis, the x coordinate is 0. I hope it is clear. you can take a screenshot. So सिर्फ पॉइंट को देख करके we can understand whether the point lies in any quadrant or whether it lies on any axis, right? मतलब एक्स एक्सिस पर लाई करता है, वाई एक्सिस पर लाई करता है, या किसी क्वाड्रेंट में, दैट वी कैन अंडरस्टैंड जस्ट बाय लुकिंग एट द पॉइंट्स. आई होप एवरीबडी हैज अंडरस्टूड दिस. या बिकॉज इफ यू हैवेंट, तो आगे जो सम्स हम लोग डिस्कस करने वाले हैं वो नहीं समझेगा. So here is practice set 7.1, question number 6. State in which quadrant or on which axis do the following points lie. Uh, there are those coordinates which I've listed. They are nothing new, but those same coordinates written here. So as you can see, it is minus 3 comma 2, negative comma positive. So it has to be which quadrant? Perfect. It has to be second quadrant, right? Yeah. We all know this is positive positive, negative positive, negative negative, and positive negative. So negative positive matlab second quadrant. Next, negative negative, it has to be third quadrant, right? And then 3.5 comma 1.5. अब डेसिमल देख करके कंफ्यूज मत होना, जस्ट लुक एट द साइंस. दोनों का साइन क्या है? पॉजिटिव पॉजिटिव, एंड हेंस फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट. Again 2 comma 10 is first quadrant. 37 comma 35 first quadrant, right? 15 comma minus 18, that is positive comma negative. So positive comma negative is fourth quadrant. Again positive comma negative, fourth quadrant. A children, 0 comma minus 5, this point, right? 0 comma minus 5, does it lie in any quadrant? The answer is no. It lies either on x axis or y axis. अब वो कैसे पता चलता है? क्योंकि इसका x कोऑर्डिनेट 0 है, it has to lie on y axis. Just the part which we discussed earlier. I hope it is clear. Now 12 comma 0, क्योंकि y कोऑर्डिनेट 0 है, it has to lie on the x axis. And 0 comma 9, it has to lie on the y axis. अब आगे के दो पॉइंट्स यहाँ पर स्पेस नहीं है, मे बी नेक्स्ट स्लाइड पर होंगे, बट आई बिलीव यू कैन डू दैट, राइट? 0,2.5, इट हैज टू बी ऑन y axis. This has to be in third quadrant, right? So I believe you can just complete the sum. Yeah, be very quick, I'll give you a minute for this. You don't have to draw those quadrants, those are just to make things simpler. आपको एग्जाम में सिर्फ ये लिखना है. It is not necessary to draw the table as well. If you want, you can just directly write point A lies in this. But table लिखने से अपना काम काफी आसान हो जाता है. Or else you will have to write a statement for every point. Point A minus 3 comma 2 lies in second quadrant. So my suggestion is to draw the table and complete the sum. Yeah, it is 5:06 now. I'll wait for one more minute maybe, then I'll change the slide. The sum is very easy, I believe, and hopefully everybody has understood it. Okay. So considering most of the students might have completed the sum, I'll be moving ahead now. Request all those kids who have not finished copying to take a screenshot. I hope that is done by now. Yeah, moving ahead. As I said, the other 2 points would be on the next slide. 0, comma 2.5 has to lie on y-axis. Minus, minus, negative, negative has to lie in the third quadrant, right? So moving on to the next question, children. In which quadrant the following points lie, whose both coordinates are positive? तो जिसका दोनों कोऑर्डिनेट पॉजिटिव होगा, they have to lie in quadrant 1, right? The next question is whose both coordinates are negative, so that is quadrant 3. Whose x coordinate is positive and y coordinate is negative, quadrant 4. And whose x coordinate is negative and y coordinate is positive, quadrant 2. A very difficult question. I want you all to copy the solution. Be very quick. There is no need to write down the question. It is there in the textbook. Just write practice set 7.1, question 2, first sub question and the solution. It won't take much time. Hardly 30 seconds में हो जाता है सम लिख करके. Again, this you don't have to do it in your graph book. This is just for reference. So moving on to the next part. Again, those kids who have not finished copying those 4 words, quadrant 2, 3, 4, and 2, can take a screenshot. So observe the following graph and answer the following questions. Problem set का question 2 है. Write the coordinates of point Q and point R. So I'll start with point Q, children. Point Q is right here. तो इसका कोऑर्डिनेट पूछा है. तो कोऑर्डिनेट्स का पैटर्न क्या होता है? X coordinate, y coordinate, right? So in order to locate x coordinate, I'll have to drop a perpendicular on x axis. So when I draw perpendicular on x axis from point Q, what I find is the x coordinate is -2, right? And y coordinate is 2. So the answer is -2, 2. Likewise, point R के लिए, if you ask me, again the pattern would be x coordinate, y coordinate, right? So the x coordinate is 4 and the y coordinate, children, as you can see, is -1. I hope it is understood. Likewise, here is the next question, point T and point M. I want you children to find out the values for point T and M. पहले first का solution copy करो, then try the solution for second, then I'll discuss what is the answer. Don't have to copy the question, don't have to draw the graph. The graph is already given to us in the textbook. Just write down the solution. So I believe there might be few students who have already got the value of point T and point M, right? So point T का जो coordinate है, that has to be 0, -1, and point M का जो coordinate होगा, that has to be 3, 0. I hope you kids have got the same, right? If you haven't, that means you haven't paid attention in the earlier part, right? You can just copy in case you haven't. Yeah. Assuming you might have finished copying both the statements for the solutions, this and this. Which point lies in the third quadrant? We all know this right here is the first quadrant and the direction is this, then the second quadrant, then the third. So third quadrant, my children, as you can see, there is only one point. The name of the point is S, right? So point S is the point which lies in third quadrant, right? The next question, which are the points whose X and Y coordinates are equal? तो ऐसे कौन से पॉइंट्स है जिनका एक्स और वाई कोऑर्डिनेट इक्वल है? पी का एक्स कोऑर्डिनेट 1 है, 3 है, okay, -2, -3. I cannot see any point except point O. क्योंकि अगर आप पॉइंट O को देखोगे, राइट, उसका जो एक्स कोऑर्डिनेट है दैट इज 0 एंड उसका y कोऑर्डिनेट जो है दैट इज आल्सो 0, क्योंकि ओरिजिन का कोऑर्डिनेट्स इज ऑलवेज 0,0. आई होप दैट इज क्लियर. देयर आर नो अदर पॉइंट्स जिनका x कोऑर्डिनेट एंड y कोऑर्डिनेट्स आर इक्वल, राइट? सो आई वांट यू ऑल टू कॉपी थर्ड सब क्वेश्चन का सॉल्यूशन and fourth sub question का solution. I've written it as third again, but it is fourth. Okay, assuming you kids might have finished copying both the statements by now. And I hope in case if any kid haven't finished, you might have taken a screenshot, right? Just to be on the safer side. Anyways, if you miss out on any information, you can always watch the recorded session, the part whatever you missed, right? So practice set 7.1. Question number 3. Now, this is a sum where we need to plot certain points. And I hope you kids must be having a graph book or a page around you. Assuming few kids might not be having that graph book available right now because it wasn't announced. I'll tell you what we can do. Today, you can just do it in the book if you want. And if you have the graph page, you can make it available. And in case those kids who do not have a graph page or book available, do it on the book for now. But I want you to make sure that you do this thing on the graph paper before the next lecture, and then we move ahead, right? In case you have any doubt doing same at home, you can just ask in the next class. So here is the explanation. uh, Using Cartesian coordinate system मतलब x axis और y axis को use कर करके, so I draw a beautiful x axis and I draw a beautiful y axis. They intersect at origin O. Again right hand side पे सारे positive number, left hand side पे negative, ऊपर की तरफ positive, negative. Now here this thing is very important. If you forget to write it, you'll lose marks. Scale 1 centimeter is equals to 1 unit on both axes. मतलब ये जो 1 सेंटीमीटर है उसको हम लोग 1 यूनिट कंसिडर कर रहे हैं. इफ आई वुड हैव रिटन इट एज 0,10, तो मतलब 1 सेंटीमीटर में कितना यूनिट आ गए? 10. बट यहाँ पे क्योंकि 0 से 1 सेंटीमीटर में 1 लिखा है तो 1 सेंटीमीटर इज 1 यूनिट. आई होप इट इज क्लियर. स्केल तभी चेंज होता है जब हमको बड़ा नंबर्स को ग्राफ पेज पे ऑक्यूपाई करना है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 1000, 1500, 2000, 2500, 3000, 7000, then I cannot deal with 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. It won't make sense. I have to deal with 1000, 2000, 3000, 4000, 5000, 6000, and 7000, right? So that time what I'll have to write is 1 centimeter is 1000 units. Hope that is clear कि scale क्या होता है, right? Now L is minus 2 comma 4. So in order to locate L, we all know पहले वाला coordinate is nothing but x coordinate. तो minus 2 on x axis is here, right? तो यहां से एक perpendicular, and then 4 on y axis is here, और यहां से एक perpendicular. The point where they meet is this particular point, and hence this is L. I hope you people have understood how to locate L. Likewise, M को locate करने के लिए पहले x axis पे 5 को locate करो. So 5 has to be somewhere here. 5 has to be somewhere here, right? So 5 comma 6. 6 is here. दोनों का जो intersection है, that is the point M. 5 comma 6. I hope you kids can locate all the other points. So I want you all to try those roughly or fairly wherever available, like on the graph page or on the books. But make sure those kids who are doing it on the book as of now, they have to do it in the graph page before the next class. And make sure कि next class में graph pages या graph book available हो, right? And if anything is needed again to be repeated, like in case you have doubts, I'll do that. Don't worry. So I'll give you certain more amount of time here because plotting is included. X axis, Y axis बनाने में ही time लग जाता है. It is clearly mentioned, plot the following points. तो graph page पे ही करना है. In exams, if you do it on the paper, I mean not on the graph page, you lose marks. Five 30, 10. Okay, so I'll just discuss the points which lie further. Like point N, the x coordinate is minus 3, which is right here, and the y coordinate is minus 4, which is right here. So when you try to draw perpendiculars from those 2 points, this is the point minus 3 comma minus 4, and point P 2 comma minus 3 has to lie here. 6 comma minus 5 again would lie on the same quadrant. 7 comma 0. Now, since the y coordinate is 0, it has to lie on the x axis. So x axis पे 7 comma 0 matlab it is this particular point. So just mark a point there. S 7 comma 0, and then 0 comma minus 5 has to lie on y axis, right? It would be right at the bottom of y axis, right? Right here. I hope it is clear and you people have got the same thing. If you haven't, you can just correct yourselves, take a screenshot of this, and then we move ahead. Maybe I'll give you flat 30 seconds to finish off or take a screenshot. right? So assuming you kids might have finished with the sum. Okay, again, this is like plotting uh, the coordinates. I'll finish off with this sum and then I'll just kind of check whether if there are certain problems with today's lecture or there are doubts related to today's session, right? So here is the Cartesian system again, x-axis and a y-axis. Uh, okay, so I'll just mark this as origin O. The positive numbers on the right hand side, negative on the left hand side, and positive in upward direction, negative in downward direction. I hope everybody knows this by now. So 1 comma 3, 1 comma 3, the point would be right here. That is point A. Okay, next is point B, minus 3 comma minus 1. So minus 3, children, has to be here, right? Minus 3 comma minus 1 matlab point यहाँ पर आएगा. They have located a wrong point here. The point which has been located on the screen, I repeat, is wrong, right? Because coordinate क्या है? Minus 3. So पहले minus 3 से start करोगे and then minus 1. So the point is right here and not here. If it would have been minus 1 comma minus 3, then it would have been correct, right? Yeah. The next is minus 3 comma minus 4. I don't know, either I've copied the points wrong or maybe this points are written wrongly here. Something definitely is mistaken. So anyways, I'll just discuss the concept here. If it is minus 3 comma minus 4, children, it has to be minus 3 comma minus 4, this point right here. And if it was 1 comma minus 4, then it has to be 1 comma minus 4 right here, right? Next is minus 2 comma 3. Yeah, so this one is correct, minus 2 comma 3. The point is right here. Acha, E is 0 comma minus 8. Since x coordinate is 0, it has to lie on the y-axis. Matlab right at the bottom of y-axis, right? And at last 1 comma 0, matlab F. So there are 2 points I see they are mistakenly marked here. If those are correct, right? Still, if you want, you can take a screenshot and complete the sum. Like if you have the graph page with you. So it is 5:25, exact at 5:26 and a half, maybe. I'll just stop with the session and I'll just unmute those kids who have any doubt in today's session and then we'll stop. So the sums which I've discussed today, they were very, very, very simple sums. And I believe there should not be any doubts in those sums particularly, right? Still, if there are any, we'll discuss those in the next 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, right? So I'll just stop with the content here. I would like to check if there are any doubts, right? Maybe I have written the wrong question number. So I'll just correct those. But ये सारे question number textbook में है, don't worry. So here is the chat box. Sir, question 456 is not there in practice at 7.1. Yeah, child Razin might be. I have not written the correct question number. रिया, करेक्ट मेजर एज सच कुछ होता नहीं है. ये जो मेजर्स हम लोग लेते हैं एक्स एक्सिस और वाई एक्सिस का मेजर्स, मतलब आई एम अज्यूमिंग यू मीन टू से कि उसको कहाँ तक लेके जाना है, 7 तक, 8 तक. इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द कोऑर्डिनेट्स गिवन टू अस इन द क्वेश्चन. फॉर एग्जांपल क्वेश्चन में हाईएस्ट एक्स कोऑर्डिनेट का वैल्यू 7 है, तो मैं ज्यादा से ज्यादा एक्स एक्सिस पे 7 तक ही जाऊंगा, राइट. वाओ, स्वयं से सेकंड ग्राफ इज आल्सो डन. यस रिया, जहाँ पे हम लोगों को पॉइंट्स प्लॉट करने बोला है वहां पे सिर्फ पॉइंट्स को ही प्लॉट करना है. वी डोंट नीड टू शो एनी लाइंस. Mahalakshmi, maybe don't worry about the question number. I'll give you the proper question number of each and every sum in the next class. Sir, what is the maximum marks for this type of sums? The maximum marks for this type of sums may be 3 marks if there are 3 sub questions. Daniel, somebody said it to me that surface area and volume nahi hai. Right. अच्छा, लेसन का मार्क्स पूछ रहा है तू. लेसन का वेटेज आई बिलीव वो पेपर में आ सकते हैं, 2-3 क्वेश्चन आ सकते हैं, आइदर 2 और 3 मार्क्स. सो अकॉर्डिंगली 6 to 8 मार्क्स. No, it is not at all necessary, Riddhi, that origin lies right in the middle of the paper. But yes, origin compulsorily has to lie at the point of intersection of x-axis and y-axis. Hope, Riddhi, that is clear. Sir, big graph page or small? Any graph page Meet would do. Yeah, Razin, I was not able to access the messages earlier. That is the reason I was not replying to any one of you. Meet, very sorry, I read it now. Sir, you can wait for 5 minutes. I wasn't. Harshit, you don't have to write anything again. Sir, when will be the next class? Arman, you'll get a message on the group whenever we'll be having. Daniel, those kids who have already finished the chapter, they need not attend it. It is not compulsory. Just inform your center heads that we won't be attending as we know this particular topic, right? Right. So that's it. I believe there are no more doubts because I am not receiving any of the messages now. So we stop here. Thank you so much, children, and God bless you all. Sir, some point Q where of problem set, but on PPT it was practice set. So students may have. Yeah, Sai, that is what I said. I'll be correcting the question numbers next class. I'll just check exactly which question numbers were they, and I'll let you all know. Right? Yeah. Thank you and bye.